Hey there team, it's your cobber, the NZ Migtail here again on another beautiful sunny day in New Zealand. And today's topic I'm going to discuss is rugby and how I feel it relates to the term toxic masculinity. And to be more specific, it does not relate in a way the feminists coined the term toxic masculinity. It's in a different way, which I'll explain. So in New Zealand we have a proud history of rugby and the All Blacks, and the All Blacks have gotten so big that they're actually now their own brand, and they bring a bit of revenue to the country, which is good. But a while back, I think it was about a month or two ago, Steve Hansen, the All Black head coach, was actually trying to get money off the government to help fund the All Blacks, which I don't think's fair with the shortfall of funding in other more critical areas such as nursing, teaching, mental health, and just general civil service roles. However, moving forward, rugby. Now, I've never played rugby. I did play a little bit of touch rugby when I was a young fella. I was more into my cricket. But I do have brothers that have played rugby, and I have been a spectator of the sport myself. To be honest, I used to enjoy watching it. But in recent years, I've come to realise the damage it does to men's bodies. It's an extremely high impact sport, and the only form of protection rugby players really have are mouth guards, and that's about it. There's a bit of strapping, but besides that, it's basically, well, it's a combat sport, is how I would put it. So yeah, the long-term side effects of playing rugby, I think, are not all that positive. And here's an example. And in a scrum, you have the combined weight of both teams packing down, and the guys on the front row, so the props and the hooker, are absorbing all that force, which can be in the tons, over 2 tons of combined weight and force those guys are absorbing in the front rows. And just imagine what that does to the body. You're looking at compressed spines, just joints getting put under huge load and strain that the human body's not designed to endure. And I look at rugby now like the old Roman gladiator sports in the Colosseums, where guys would go to battle against each other basically for entertainment. It's not the extreme as the gladiator days where they'd be killing each other and fighting lions and all sorts of craziness for the entertainment of the spectators. But if you think about it, rugby's, you can draw comparisons to those gladiator sports with rugby. And I think rugby is really glorified and worshipped in this country when we're not worshipping feminists and women. And to be honest, I think it's given too much credence. in this day and age, with all the other issues this country's facing. So yeah, I think rugby is just another form of male disposability for the entertainment of the masses, and I think, you know, there are good things about it. It builds camaraderie, it teaches guys to work as a team, and communication, and it, it focuses on individual players' strengths and that. But I think for me, just as a spectator, and seeing what it's done to guys, that I know, it's basically wrecked their bodies, and I think if you're not really seriously committed to getting to a really top professional level where you actually make money off it, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think just playing club rugby on the weekends is worth it for the toll that it takes on your body. And some guys might think I'm talking nonsense, I'm crazy, but I'm sure there's many men out there who would agree. And so yeah, I think rugby is actually toxic for men, because